Hi, this is Amara Wiley, your spiritual tour guide. I wanted to talk about a technique that I use for um, resetting. So basically, I used to say that I had an auto pause button, that people could stop me in mid sentence. And if I was repeating myself or saying the wrong thing, that they could just pause me. Um, and I realized that this is actually a really good technique because invariably the the best way to not go down the path that's going to lead you to something you don't want, so conflict, um, you know, sadness, anger, not that you certainly feel what you're feeling, but if we can avoid going down the path towards those things, we can stay in the place of um, comfort, ease, peace. So the pause is to just hold on when somebody says something to you and you're about to respond, to just take a breath. Take a breath. That's the magic thing. Don't don't respond. Same thing if you have a thought that's upsetting. Take a breath. Pause. And then you can replay. You can choose a different response. If because God is in the pause, God is in the silence. And so the longer we take to respond, the better it is for us to move down the path that leads us to paradise. So here's the miracle. If you are having a thought that, oh my God, I can't pay my bills. Oh my God, I'm getting sick. I have a little tickle in my throat. Oh my God. Um, I don't know. My car is making a noise. It's going to be really expensive to fix. I'm not going to have a car for a while. I won't be able to get to work. Pause and replay. So the replay is I don't know if there's anything wrong with my car. My car is making a noise. That's all I know. I don't know what the ramifications of that noise is. Yeah. So I'm going to take the car to the mechanic and find out what's wrong because I don't know what the issue is. It could be anything. It could be something got caught in the tailpipe. It could be something's loose under the carriage that's really easy to fix. It could be that there's a penny in the wheel. I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what um, the sound is. I am not an auto mechanic. Now, if you're an auto mechanic, you may know what the sound is, but this can be applied to anything. So I invite you the next time you start feeling that anxiety coming up, we all have that anxiety, you can just kind of pause and breathe because you can't get upset when you go back to the breath. That's what meditation's all about. It's just coming back to the breath. And we practice meditation to teach ourselves that we have that breath. That's what meditation is for, that we can pause, that we can rest in silence. No matter how busy your head is, it's just the practice of reminding ourselves, of developing the habit of taking a pause. So that's the first part. The second part is the replay. So the replay for the mechanic is I don't know what's wrong. I have no information. I'm only guessing. So what is the next step I need to take so that I can get some more information? Um, I do not jump to conclusions. Just because I have a pain in my leg does not mean I have cancer. Just because I have a tickle in my throat does not mean that I'm getting sick. There are many, many explanations for all kinds of body symptoms. Bodies are just method of communication with us to tell us what might be going on up here in the swirl of what our brains are always trying to convey. Um, and the more we can come back to the moment of silence, to the moment of the breath, to the intake and the outflow, which is really the whole universe moving within us, because the universe is made up of yin and yang, the inflow and the outflow, the contraction and the expansion, the magnetic and the active. That is, so when you bring yourself back to the breath, it's this magic of becoming the universe, because everything is the inflow and the outflow. And if you think about it, when you start feeling that anxiety and start freaking out about something, it's like you're holding your breath. You go, right? That's the gasp, right? And then your brain, because you're holding your breath, is trying to react, is trying to come back to balance. Your brain starts putting out, right? It starts output. The input is the holding the breath. It wants you to stop holding your breath. So it's like, well, it could be this, it could be this, it could be this, it could be this. And then you've gotten stuck on the inflow, and your brain is trying to get the outflow going. But the best way to get the outflow going is to let go of your breath. So breathe in and breathe out. And if you can remember to keep coming back to the breath whenever things start seeming stressful, you will get to a place, a habit you will build that reminds you that you can pause. Sometimes it helps to rest with your hands on your heart. And whatever works for you, you can pause, you can breathe, and you can get back to center, which is where the silence is, which is where source is, and where you experience that everything is true in the whole universe inside of us, because we are the microcosm and the universe is the macrocosm. So as much as we might think that our car is about to explode, it's likely that it isn't. So I had a bunch of lights come on my dashboard a while ago. I don't know, 5 maybe. 5 lights came on, and I was like, oh my goodness, that doesn't seem good. So, but they were different lights. So one was because the air pressure in one of my tires was a little low. And then 3 of them had to do with the anti-lock brake system. And I forget what the other one was, but they were unrelated. 3 of them were related, the other 2 weren't. And therefore, I took my car in, they fixed the tire. They said, don't worry about the anti-lock brakes. That could be fine for quite a while. I still have the lights on my dashboard. And then they fixed whatever the other thing was, which was super cheap. So it was, I could easily have panicked because all of the lights came on. And that's kind of the metaphor. When all the lights come on your dashboard, it doesn't necessarily mean anything. So take a breath, pause, and replay. I do not know what anything is. I do not know what anything is for. I do not know what's happening. Let me do a little detective work and find out rather than jumping to conclusions. I love you. Have a wonderful week. Many blessings.